Welcome back to Good for Us. We are picking up where we left off last time. I want to do a quick update on how everybody's feeling because, Amy, when we started recording, sounds like you still have a little bit of cough, but how are you feeling? Since the last episode we did was all about how we take care of ourselves when we're sick, how are you doing? And any updates on the self-care?
I definitely, after our session, I'm going to call these sessions because they feel like therapy to me. For our session, I started doing the homeopathic remedies and now my voice is going to give out right now. And I feel 1,000 times better. It really did knock off probably a week of illness, just adding in the vitamins, adding in the supplements. I do feel better.
You have
Oh,
your
good.
full voice though. Last time I felt like you were
Yeah,
giving all you could just to talk, but feels more relaxed.
definitely.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that
So
feeling too. And it's so nice to be on the other side of it when you don't have the congestion. I mean, I know you're not there yet, Amy, but now that I'm there, I'm like, there's hope on the other side. It's crazy though, how much that's been going around. It feels like everybody's impacted by some symptom right now and we're all in this together. So today's
yeah.
episode though is a little bit of a pivot away from our personal self-care to how we're taking care of the loved ones in our lives. And we've talked about in the very first episode that we did our backstory about, some of the details about who we are and what's going on in our lives. I'm the only one out of the three that doesn't have kids, and I'm not married. But I do have a pet, and we're gonna start off talking about pets. Amy has a dog. Lena, you don't have any pets right now, do you?
No, not anymore. Nope.
And then we're gonna move into actual kids after we cover the pets. But Amy had such a great point that it felt good to start this episode talking about pets because that's oftentimes people's first babies. And maybe for me, it'll be my only, but I'm cool with that. So I'll start off. Evie is my dog. She's a little Jack Russell Terrier, and she turned 15 a few months ago, maybe
Aw.
almost 6 months ago. So she is definitely in her senior age, and it's such a journey with a dog or any animal to watch them through all these different stages, just like kids. Except sadly, that they have such shorter lives, so you're kind of in a it's a different experience of time, I guess, and for me, I often think about what can I do to give her the best life possible and the best care possible, and you never feel like you're doing it 100% right, but I have definitely learned a lot, and it's hard to summarize everything down, but I picked a few things that felt like they represent what I've been enjoying lately in Evie's life. And I actually narrowed it down to 4 things. So I have 2
Nice.
things I'm really liking, 1 thing that's, on the cusp for a reason I'll share, and a 4th thing that's, kind of my compromise, which is the theme of all these episodes is, what's kind of on the really healthy side and what's on the side of, you're making some compromises with ingredients or where you're buying it from. So I'll start on the super healthy, earthy, crunchy side, which I'm actually curious if either of the 2 of you have heard of this before, because this is a product that is known for being for humans, and I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce it right. I think it's Essiac, Essiac. Is it familiar to either of you?
No.
So I found this, and here's a little bit of a compromise. When I buy from Amazon, I always feel a little weird about it, but I did get this on Amazon and was reading through the reviews, and people were just going on and on about how this has worked in their lives. And then the company recently introduced pet products. So it's like a natural herbal immune system
Okay.
product, and they're all organic, which is great. They come in a glass bottle and they're made by certified herbalists. And the company has been around since 1922 and has a really interesting story. It's really worth reading about the woman. Her name's Renee, who started this company, and the company was named after her last name spelled backwards. So I learned all these interesting
Okay.
facts
What
about
kind of
how.
herbs get inside of that?
So this is burdock root. I don't know what sheep sorrel whole herb is, slippery elm, and turkey rhubarb root. So It
Nice.
sounds like animal products, but those are all, like, different herbs, and that's
Okay.
it. So I put a few drops of this in my dog's food every day, and I thought that she would hate it, but she has had 0 problem with it. I tried a little myself just to see out of curiosity. It's actually quite sweet because it's made with glycerin. And it just, like it's one of those things that I give her that makes me feel like I'm doing something really good for my dog. And maybe that's just a placebo effect, but it's definitely working on me. The thing that's also kind of a borderline placebo, but I've read a lot about over time is using hemp products like CBD for ourselves and our dogs. And a few years ago at the Natural Products Expo, I found this brand. I have a tiny sample size left right now, but it's called Homescape Pets, and they make a line of really great hemp-based products, and I love them for a variety of reasons. I wrote down some notes. It's a husband and wife team. I met them. They were so kind, just full of, like, love and passion, and they created the company after their dog got sick with cancer, and they started looking into holistic care for their dogs and developed all of these really great products for them, and I just loved it. It was like a positive vibe, which I think is also really
Yeah.
key when you're buying products. Now, the 3rd product is where I start to, like, get into some territory where I feel like maybe some compromises, and the first one is mostly because it's a brand that I found also on Amazon, but I couldn't find a lot of information about them, so it seems almost like a generic brand. I prefer to buy with from really established brands and places that have, like, a story and, like, you can go to their website and learn all about them. This one, I couldn't do that, but I bought this cough and throat formula for my dog after the Los Angeles wildfires because I was really concerned about her respiratory system, so I've been putting this in her water every day. And this has all sorts of things in it. It starts with apple cider vinegar, echinacea, elderberry, ginger root. I just thought it was such a cool formula to give your dog and to
Yeah.
support them
Completely.
during, a time where they can't, like, wear a mask or anything. Like, they can't protect themselves when they go outside, so it feels up to me. 4th and final product is something that after a ton of research, I felt like, "All right, this I will add it in because it's so recommended by vets, and it's a big part of a senior animal's care, not just dogs. It's called Dosequin, and it's a super established kinda, like, protocol supplement for animals, and what it's designed for off the top of my head, well, it says right here, joint health supplement, and is the number 1 joint health product recommended by vets. Whether that's just marketing, I don't know. Some of the ingredients, I was like, I mean, they're not that bad, but I
Mhm.
remember feeling really hesitant and then just deciding I'd rather give something again to my dog that's, like, been very well researched and established when it comes to her joints, given
Yeah.
that she struggles a little bit with that. So, I'm glad I'm giving it to her, but sometimes I'm like, I wish I knew for sure that there was a natural alternative or, like, a much not that this isn't that natural, but I guess it just feels like it's coming from, like, a pharmaceutical company,
Yeah, like
you
from
know
a
what I
lab.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the feeling, even from the packaging, like, everything about it.
Yeah.
And some of that could just be the marketing on the negative side, but it's not like some of these more natural products where they're all about, like, holistic and organic and
Yeah.
eco-friendly packaging. So, it doesn't make me feel as good, but I'm glad I'm giving it to her just for peace of mind.
What age would you suggest starting something like like a Dosiquin? Like, what age for dogs?
I
'Cause
probably
I
started
are
her when she crossed into the senior territory, which is probably around 10 or something.
10.
I mean, obviously, with something like that, talking to your vet, and that was something that multiple vets and lots of research led me to. So, yeah,
Also,
I
I
think it's
think you have a
probably been
small dog, and, like, we used to have a German Shepherd, and he had, like, tons of joint stuff as he got but I think that started around 7 for him, but he was like but
Oh,
they're
that
also,
makes
like,
sense.
more prone to that kinda stuff, like, just
Yep.
genetically and bigger dogs, so we I don't remember, we didn't do that, but we gave him some kind of medication basically, like, every day, and it actually helped a ton, but yeah, it's crazy, like, sad.
I
And
It
know.
they get
is.
autistic,
And I
So
guess the benefit of all these supplements or the aim is like, okay, if I can do this instead of giving her a medication, if I can avoid it. But just like with anything as humans too, like we can try all these natural things and we might still need to. I just finished watching this series on Netflix actually called Apple Cider Vinegar.
I wanna see that.
It's really good, but it's also really confronting because it's based on these true stories of people that went to extremes to use natural products to care for themselves, and it kinda left me feeling like, "Ooh," like, at a certain point, one
Wasn't
of
it
the big
based
things in
on
the s
somebody who lied about having cancer
Mhm.
and, like, said that you could
Yeah.
cure, like, different things that were not necessarily true?
Yeah, exactly. So, that's one of the big themes is not only are some of the main characters who are influencers in the wellness space trying to heal themselves, but they're spreading this information that led to other people not taking the, medicine or doing chemotherapy, and some of them unfortunately lost their lives. And so the question then becomes, would they have lived longer if they had done chemo, or would their lives have ended either way? And I think
Yeah,
sadly we think about that stuff with our pets and ourselves, and it's complicated.
yeah.
I have always been of the mindset though, like there are certain points in life when, I mean, look, I don't want to jump on the vaccine stuff and everything, but like there is a lot of research that goes into long-term diseases that we should take advantage of. And it like chemotherapy is one of them. It's like it's been a proven longevity tool for people who suffer from cancer. I don't know. I feel like you definitely should be as natural as possible up to a certain point, and then just you should trust science a little bit to say, okay,
Yeah.
the science is there. Let's trust it.
Yeah, it's tricky. There's this heartbreaking scene on the very last episode of that series. I won't spoil it, but I was watching and I was like, "Oh, man." Like, it's basically one of those moments, like, maybe I should have listened to the doctor after all, and, it's such a tough call. I also think of, like, Steve Jobs, who he
Yeah.
had all the money and resources in the world,
Mm.
and yet, some might say his life ended early because he didn't wanna take, whatever science-based medicine there was out there, so it's hard.
Yeah.
Anyways,
On a lighter note,
how did
Instead
we
of
pick
dying, let's talk about birth.
Yeah,
yeah, so
exactly, let's go to the other
right.
end of the
Like,
spectrum.
my sister just had a baby 4 days ago, and so I've been in the throes of, like, baby product memory lane, and in talking to her, it just jogged my memory so much that I wanted to bring up a few products that are good for you that, like, I feel like all new moms should invest in. And then there are a couple of luxury items that seem like luxury items until it is 3 AM and you're changing a diaper with a wailing newborn, and then you're like, "I really should have invested in this." And so, one thing I would say, having had 2 children, that is a worthwhile investment are glass bottles. So, they stand up to the test of time. They don't leach chemicals when you warm them up repeatedly, and I just found I that was something that I invested in because they are more expensive than the plastic alternatives. And I'm not gonna recommend a particular brand because every baby's different. They all like different shapes and styles, but most brands carry a glass version of their bottles. You just have to research it. So just if
Yeah.
you find a bottle type shape that you like, just look for the glass version. They usually have it. The 3 AM diaper changing luxury item that became a necessity for me was the wipe warmer. And again, we use the Munchkin wipe warmer. I just bought one for my sister because her son is as particular as our babies were. But that's one thing that's like probably not the most eco-friendly. It's literally a hunk of plastic that heats wipes. But
How do you
uh,
heat it? Is it just like an electric warmer situation?
yes, it's like a low
Okay.
level electric warmer, and it's sort
Okay.
of like an insulated chamber where the wipes sit, and it functions like a tissue box with a lid. So you open
Okay.
the lid, pull out one wipe at a time, but the heating element's like inside the
And it
box.
doesn't create, like, mold, like, I feel like it's, like,
Oh,
amazing that like, they get,
it
like, to the bottom and the whites are, like, in mold.
it definitely got funky after a while. After probably like a week, you want to wipe it down and give it a clean, but
Yeah.
like just from changing diapers, not
Yeah.
necessarily mold, but I
Yeah.
mean, maybe if we hadn't cleaned it, it would have. I don't know. My sister is breastfeeding, and so that is a process in and of itself. But I found a lot of moms recommend the boppy pillow, which is just too soft in my opinion. There's a product called My Breast Friend that's literally a stiffer version of like shelf that you strap on underneath your chest, and it really holds the baby up. So if you have a tiny newborn, it's the easiest thing, and you can position it how you want if you're breastfeeding.
It
Like,
sounds amazing because
yeah,
I
it's
would always
amazing.
have the ones on my lap and you'd have to that's probably why I
Exactly.
need a breast lift now because of all the
Right? No, it's exactly right. You probably were using a boppy, which it comes
yeah, I
so
was.
highly recommended, and I tried it, and I was just like, "This is not good," and then I tried I don't even know if it was like a as seen on TV product at the time, years ago when I had my first, but it's become a really established company now, and you can get them on Amazon if you're in a pinch and it is 2 a.m. and you have a newborn, you can order it on Amazon. Oh, the healthy thing that I still think is the best for newborns is the solely like an organic baby wrap. No matter what phase, they have so many different types, but if you go with an organic cotton baby wrap, either the baby katan has an organic cotton version or, like the solely baby wrap, it's just a universal product that, like, everyone needs no matter the size of the baby, and it's
Awesome.
better, yeah. So those are my recommendations. I have
Thank
so
you.
many. I could pull out the list,
You're
but
also good for small pets, Whitney. So, if you know anybody who just had a baby, but the baby's too big, they'd be great for, being Evie in close to you and, going for walks.
Oh,
She would probably love it.
I
She,
thought about that. That's funny, you, read my mind because sometimes she likes to hang out in the kitchen. I'm like, "I wish I had, like a sling or something just to, put her in and walk around the kitchen with her
totally.
versus her, following."
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Lena, now we hand it over to you. What
Okay.
do you have for us today?
Okay, so my kids are 6 and 8 right now. I have been using the exact same body wash that I started using when they were born, and it's from this company that, I absolutely love. It's called, Babo Botanicals. And
yes,
this
I love
bottle
them.
is, really squished up because now they have, these refill packages. So these I usually buy these big bottles, but it's, really thick plastic. So now I can just, refill it and save, a ton of plastic. But it's, the only thing that hasn't caused allergic reactions on my 8-year-old skin. And they're just very lightly scented, which I like, but also we've traveled many times for my husband's work and we'll all be staying somewhere for 3 months or 2 weeks or whatever. And it's I don't want to pack multiple body washes. And so we just all ended up using this one. So basically, my husband uses it. I say it's made for kids, but it's just so clean. And for him and I, I'll add in other stuff, but I always get these huge orders and just have it in our shower too. But it's seriously the best thing, and it has amazing ingredients, and it doesn't cause any sort of reaction. And, yeah, I my son really wanted, a more, manly smell. He used one of my husband's other ones one time, and he's like, "I want something like that for myself." And so at Christmas, I researched this really cool company out of England, and they have, amazing ingredients, and I got him 3 cents, and he tried all of them, and he got, an allergic reaction to all of them, and it's just, his skin is so sensitive, and so I was just like, "Sorry, bud, we're gonna have to go back to, the scent." There's, a girly scent, but this is the, more neutral one, and the scent is comforting oat milk calendula. How do you say that word? So it doesn't really smell like anything, but it's just, I don't know, it's, the best, and they have, amazing sunscreen. They actually have this tinted moisturizer that for my skin color, it's, amazing, I wear it all day. I like it better than any other, foundation I've ever used, and it's, a sunscreen. It's, super light.
Ooh, I'll have to
So
try it.
yeah, I'm just, obsessed with it, and they always have it's kind of pricey, but they always have discounts, I never pay full price for it, so I
Awesome.
feel like it's worth it, and also it, doesn't cause a reaction on my kids' skin, and they also have amazing bubble baths. So when I have friends that have new babies, I always send them, a gift of, the different scents of the bubble bath, so it's really good.
Yeah.
It's probably amazing for washing dogs too. And then I was thinking about things that products for my kids that I are kind of not as good, but I've eliminated so many things. So I had a really hard time figuring something out. But today at school, they were giving out Valentines at school. So my kids both came home with like bags full of junk, like products that would just throw in the trash, and then like lots and lots of candies and stuff. So like this is like a Skittles bag out of my son's thing. And like I don't buy Skittles anymore in our house. And so I guess like the thing that I've like I struggle with and like balancing is like we've eliminated so many things out of what we buy for our home, but yeah, like they'll always be with friends, they'll have a party or whatever, and like they end up with this stuff. And they're usually like the only one who doesn't eat it on like a regular basis. And so I do let them like occasionally have stuff. Like when we went trick or treating for Halloween, they both got like the biggest amounts of candy. So I usually let them pick like 5 things and then we get rid of the rest. But they're like so used to it that it's not like detrimental. And even in our house, like we try to cut back. We don't try not to do tons of sugar. So like on the weekends, we'll have like movie night and they'll get like a bowl of candy or like, they'll get ice cream or, and like in their lunches, I'll put like tiny little treats. But like they don't get to just, like, eat a bag of Skittles anytime they want. It's very minimal. So, like, if they get 5 pieces of something from Halloween that they can eat over 3 days, that's, like, super exciting for them. So, I don't know. I think that just, like, the thing that's, like, the most challenge, though, is, like, making them, like, not feel ostracized, but then also, like, teaching them why we do it. Like, I don't just tell them, like, "We're not doing this." I, like, educate them around food dyes and sugar just in general and how it affects their body and what their personal goals are. My kids are, like, very involved in activities, and they have, like, really high expectations for themselves, and it's like, if you wanna be, like, your best and you wanna do these things, then you gotta be healthy. So I've just tried to, like, incorporate that a lot.
How do you think that's changed for them over time in terms of the older they get? Do you think that they're making that correlation between, "Oh, if I eat this food, I don't feel as good, and if I eat this sugar, I don't sleep as well or perform as well." Like, are they at a point where they can see that correlation?
Yeah, I think so. Like, my son was saying last night his stomach hurt, and, like, my mom had come over and, like, brought them cupcakes, and they were from Whole Foods, so they didn't have, like, the worst ingredients, but it's still a ton of sugar, and they knew that. And, I think my son was like, "Yeah, I, like, ate the whole cupcake, so now my stomach hurts," and, like, today he came up to my daughter and he was like, "At school today, I got a bag of cotton candy and it had color like Valentine's hearts in it." And my daughter goes, "I don't think mom's gonna let you eat that." he goes, he goes, "I ate it all at school." I mean, my kids, like, know what my expectations are, and, like, if they do stuff like that, it's not like I'm, like, mad at them. I just, like, remind them, "Okay, like, you did that, and now if you feel terrible," and, like, my son even said, "I didn't even feel bad after I ate it all," and I'm like, "Okay." So, it's like, I try not to make it too big a deal and, like, educate them where they are, like, comfortable making their own choices too, and hopefully they'll appreciate it one day, but we'll see.
I
They're pretty happy to, like, follow along with it most of the time.
No, I remember in competitive sports, our coaches would put us on what they called the hydration diet, and it was like because we're competing in Southern Louisiana in the height of summer, like, you have to be fully hydrated, so you can't eat
Yeah.
a lot of sugar because it dehydrates you. So we
Yeah.
weren't allowed to eat, like, I mean, any junk food. It was, like, very healthy whole foods, which is shocking, but they were very that's how competitive they were for
That's
sports.
awesome.
But I listening to you talk about this, I actually feel really blessed to be in Los Angeles because, like, that's not a thing where we are, like, nobody gives candy as a Valentine here. It's like, handcrafted, like, Valentines and, like, one mom, I'm like, I remember put, blow pops in the Valentine one year, and it was just like, "We don't do that here." We don't so, I kind of feel grateful that I found a community of people who are aligned with, like, our beliefs as much as I make fun of it, like, it is true,
Yeah.
like, sugar is just something to be limited, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was telling my husband, I was like, when I was growing up, like all the moms who were like, "Oh, you can't have the Kool-Aid at the party," I thought they were so extreme. And it was usually like the super hippie ones, and they
Uh-huh.
smelled and they just looked weird, and the kids were kind of weird, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'll like never be like that. And now I feel like I'm like one of the most like extreme, I guess, people I know, like in my neighborhood, but I live in a very suburban area and people like, like Chick-fil-A and like Gatorade and just like all the things are just like a very common part of people's life. So it's just funny. I'm like, I don't think I look like that. I don't think I smell, but I guess they did turn into it.
No, when I was feeling bad, it's so crazy, but Gatorade, I craved a blue and yellow Gatorade. And like
That's so
I bought bottles of it, which I haven't had it in probably, I don't know, years, like maybe since the last time I was sick, but that's all I wanted was like a yellow Gatorade. I didn't want food. It's
Did
so
you drink
bizarre.
it when you were a kid, when you were sick?
I must have, right? Like
Yeah.
that's why the association, like I must have
Yeah.
had it when I was young.
Well, you're
But yeah,
obviously
it
like
made me feel
super
better.
dehydrated.
Fortunately, we're also so lucky to have alternatives to, like, everything. Like, now there's, like, electrolytes. I didn't know that term, but that's basically what Gatorade is. And then as adults, we have, like, all these different types of electrolytes and,
Mhm.
all these different flavors. Like, Liquid IV has all these really interesting flavors now that are
I
definitely
love
based in
that company.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
And it's so it's fun where you can kinda have your cake and eat it too, like, you can have something that tastes like you remember something, but it doesn't have nearly as much sugar.
Yeah.
Lena, was there something else you were gonna mention before we got off on this tangent?
Um,
Or was
the
that it?
only other thing I was gonna say that, is like a compromise for me lately, and my daughter, she's my 6-year-old, but she just started in the world of like competitive dance, and we've done 2 competitions. She's like doing it solo. She's very into dance. And we performed it at our Christmas show before the competitions for just like our dance studio. And the woman who choreographed it, she was like, "You should really try a lip stain next time she performs," because like I put lipstick on her, like from my like beauty counter one or whatever, just like a natural one. It like definitely smudged. And she has the tiniest little lips. And so I went to Ulta to like find something because I was like, okay, like I don't know a clean ingredient lip stain that's out there. So I found this one and it goes on like a calligraphy lip thing or whatever. But like I'm sure it's like horrible ingredients. But I'm like, okay, we're only doing it like a few times a year. And like I cannot have her on stage, like putting all this work and all everybody looks, thinks about it
Yeah.
like her lip stuff.
What's the brand?
I was gonna bring it out and I couldn't find it. I think it's like in her bedroom in her dance bag. And I was like, it's not worth waking her up. But it was just like some one girl at Ulta. I was like, I've never bought one of these before. Can you guide me? And she was like some cute young, like 20-year-old. And she was like, I know exactly what you need. And she's like, here you go. So that's like, I feel like I'm willing to like compromise as long as it's like things that we're not doing like every day or like all the time. Like
Mhm.
being outside, like what I'm comfortable with.
That inspires me for us to do an episode about skincare and also an episode about makeup or any beauty products that we could go into more deep detail about the compromises versus the things that
I
we
use
feel
horrible stuff.
aligned with.
Like, I try the natural stuff, and I just never like, it just, like, like, I'm your daughter, it slicks off my face, and I look like it melted halfway through the day. It's just like, "You know what? This won't be the worst of what I do in my life," so I use all the
Well, I look forward to hearing
Thank
about all
you.
those different options, Amy. I think for this episode, let's wrap up here so that we can record our next episode and encourage our wonderful listener to subscribe to the show because we have so much coming your way. I mean, we've been writing down all different ideas, and our next episode that we're about to record is going to be about cleaning products. So be sure to subscribe so that you can find out when the next episode comes out and find out what other products we think are good for us and hopefully good for you too. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll be back soon.